the social issue being addressed in this article is all about the Safe Schools. As the article states, Safe Schools Coalition is more about LGBTI right advocacy than making schools safer, which I think is a bit ridiculous, really, because I think by advocating LGBTI rights, then schools will be safer for a big portion of the community. But this article really, to me, it encompasses the underlying homophobic and transphobic attitudes that many Australians still subscribe to. The issue has been in the media fairly regularly over the past few months, and as a gay woman myself, I know personally what it feels like to go to a school that never even acknowledged that people like me existed. This article stood out to me mostly because of the image, and I'll just pull it up here so that you can see it. This article depicts school students pushing and shoving each other. The image insultingly insinuates that bullying is only a physical act. And I don't ever remember being physically bullied at school, but I did have to attend a school where anti-gay graffiti was on the walls everywhere and was never cleaned off, where sex ed was only classified as knowing what a pad and a tampon was, and that the obligatory lesson that involved putting a condom on a banana in our Year 12 camp. And being gay was always sneered at by the other girls who attended. In saying that, though, I'm in a little bit of a funny situation here because I know that this education needs to be in schools, but I can also see how small little portions of it can be confronting to the homophobic and transphobic individuals, but even the more conservative wing here in Australia. But I feel like the content is causing higher than normal criticism based on just a few small parts of it that may be slightly more awkward or confronting to teach. But let's face it, the same can be said about history. That small portions of our history are uncomfortable and confronting to learn about. The author of this article, he diminishes the importance of the program by explicitly explaining that no doctors were ever consulted. And you know, he's insinuating that things were just haphazardly thrown together. And can I tell you something? I teach maths and I'm not a mathematician. I teach my kids about dental hygiene and I'm not a dentist. But people need not fear. I mean, there was adequate consultation and the right people have had really good input into putting together this program. I've read numerous articles relating to this idea and this agenda, and one of them hilariously provides a glossary of terms related to sexuality and gender for those who don't know. Another one pointed out how far we have come because Malcolm Turnbull attended Mardi Gras, but all it takes is to have a look at the Beyond Blue website, and it suggests that same-sex attracted young people have up to 14 times higher rate of suicide attempts than their heterosexual peers. And this is where some of the imageries come that I quite connect with. This one in particular, you know, that young people should never feel vulnerable when they're visible. And a few other memes. I do love a meme here. You know, some of the more maybe perhaps redneck ideas and redneck community that are disagreeing with it. In general, let's try not to offend anybody in 2016. We seem to be falling into that trap quite a bit. But this one's probably most poignant to me, and I think the comments in the debate about the Safe Schools program really justifies the need for the program. The simple fact here is that you may not like it. Let's face it, there are some really awkward things that are within the same Safe Schools program. And I would certainly have some awkward moments teaching it, let's be honest. But the fact is, we need it.